lift to see him again for everybody?
For sure, yeah. Everybody's excited to see him. It's great to have him back. He's one of our leaders, and he's happy to be back. So it's a good vibe in there.
Yeah, good vibe in there. And it looked like a good vibe on the bench with Draymond out there. Looked like a good vibe, but the Warriors are getting smoked. So what's going on? But again, here's the thing I keep coming back to, Greg. This is not an organizational issue. Like, as far as, like, young players versus it's the vets are all in on the vets. Like, you can say, like, the energy is this way or that way, but the truth is Steph wants Draymond back, and Clay mentioned in that last cut what he's optimistic about, what keeps his optimism up, his hope. He mentions Draymond and Steph and himself. Like, these guys want to go down together if they're going to go down. And right now it looks like they're going down. But, yeah, energy's back up. We'll see. And then I think the most telling cut was the third one that I wanted to play from Steve Kerr's pregame session on Draymond coming back and what it means as far as playing time for everybody.
What are the challenges of trying to play Draymond and Jonathan together on the court, and what are the pros and cons of that?
I don't see it as a challenge of those two being on the court together. I think they can coexist well, but the challenge means that if those two are on the court, then you got a lot of other guys who aren't on the court, and so what it looks like is a logjam once Draymond comes back. But I've learned in this league, you don't worry about future problems. You worry about today's problems. So we'll see where we are whenever Draymond comes back, and we'll adjust accordingly.
All right, so not so much about Draymond and Kuminga, and I think you could play Draymond at the 5 and Kuminga at the 4. I don't think that's the issue at all. It's just, who else is on the floor with him? Is it Steph, Clay? And to be honest, I kind of think it's Steph, Clay, and Podziemski might be a decent lineup to have out there with him. Another playmaker. I mean, Podziemski's shot has really fallen off these last few games, which I think has been where he's made himself less impactful. But again, I don't think you're going to see Kuminga at the 3 and Draymond at the 4 and another center out there, if that's what you're getting at. Because, again, I think there's still a lot of Warrior fans that are thinking, well, just play him in like the old Wiggins spot, right? Steph, Clay, Dre, Trace Jackson Davis or Looney, and then just play Kuminga at Wiggins. And the Warriors do not think of Kuminga as that. Like, they just don't. So how does it all shake out? And if Draymond's going to be back, it's going to, I think, probably mean he's going to get backup point guard duties, which might take, I think it would get Corey Joseph off the floor. But at the same time, I think it also maybe would cut into like Moody's minutes a little bit. So the bottom line is it's just another night here where it's more questions than answers. It's another just really disheartening loss. And when the Warriors core guys are asked about what needs to change and how do they get better, all the Warriors core guys do is talk about how they believe in each other and basically nobody else. So if that doesn't tell you, I mean, I don't know what else does. And we're going to find out. Again, it all gets back to the Warriors are going to have to look in the mirror and decide if this thing is worth salvaging, if they want to ride it out with Steph, Clay, and Draymond together, and if they want to attempt to try and get them some more young vet or veteran level help. And if they don't think that's going to work, maybe you go dramatic the other way and you look to get your financial house in order a little bit. And again, I don't want to say a soft rebuild, but maybe a little bit of a financial restructure to try and gear up and give yourself some opportunities to get better. The problem is the Warriors are not going to have money to spend, period. So you have to use the assets that you have on your roster to get other assets. Like, the only thing the Warriors can do is make trades. That is the only way the Warriors, the only thing they can do is sign minimum players and draft players and make trades. And minimum players ain't going to move the needle. And we've seen draft picks aren't going to come in and be a panacea. And that means trades. Trades. And again, I think the crux of it when you look at the trades is Kuminga because of his value, Wiggins because of his salary, and Chris Paul because of his salary/expiring contract. But Draymond coming back, and I think sooner than later, is sort of the final decision marker point as to, all right, you get Draymond back, and then you lead up to the deadline, and then what? And then what do you do? So that remains to be seen. All right, let's call it a night on that note. I think it's a good time to pause. Apologies on the YouTube to those on the YouTube chat, and we appreciate everybody. The people popping into the room have really, really picked up here throughout the course of the show. So we really appreciate that here on Esports Leader. Oh, there we go. It looks like I got some comments coming back. Looks like we got some comments. It looks like I got the comments. So apologies, I kind of lost the comments throughout. So I'll get to everybody's for sure on Wednesday when we reconvene for that special start time, 5:30. Warriors and the Pelicans. We'll be on right around 8 here on KNBR. Reacting to that one. Any final business, Greg? Before we get out of here?
I actually do. I'm glad you asked me because I was going to.
You look like you had something.
Chime in,
you look like you had something to say. So.
Well, look, this was not a great night for the Warriors at all, and we've had a lot of really interesting shows in the post game. But we're not going to be on the air tomorrow, January 8th, and
oh no,
that is the birthday
no.
of John Dickinson. So I just want to say happy birthday, my friend. Love doing the show with you. And it's been incredible to get these, to get it all going. Just Dubs OT, and go enjoy yourself a day.
Greg, I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the kind wishes. Yes, no Warriors tomorrow, no Niners tomorrow. I will, in fact, get to take the day off. So, yes, happy birthday to me, I guess. Although, who says that? But thank you, Greg. I really, you and my mom really appreciate that. All right, we'll talk to you Wednesday. Appreciate everybody on YouTube and Twitch and those that called and texted. It's KNBR 104.5 and 680, the sports leader.
RJ Barrett, how hot am I? I'm not hot. He's got a 23-point half. Well, if he's that wide open.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
We got Steph Curry.
It's always, if you play this guy, then you also have to play this guy. And if you play these two together, you got to play another two together. And if you rip one out, you got to rip two out. And then that turns into three. If that doesn't tell you the pieces don't fit, I don't know what else does.
Ah, great! I hate it!
Gutless.